Hi, my name is Teresa. I am a personal trainer specializing in antenatal fitness at Nuffield Health. I am here with Emma McKenna, our Senior Health and Wellbeing Physiologist and Pregnancy Specialist at Nuffield Health. We are going to take you through a guided workout that will help you to stay strong and mobile throughout your pregnancy and when giving birth. It will also help you to prepare for new actions that will become routine when having your baby, such as lifting and carrying your baby.
All of the exercises we're going to show you today are safe for the anatomical and physiological changes that take place in your body during pregnancy. But it's important that you check with your midwife before taking part in any exercise during pregnancy. This workout is designed as one element of your pregnancy fitness and can be done every day alongside other activities such as brisk walking, water-based exercise and pregnancy yoga. Never exercise in excessive heat, drink plenty of water, avoid pushing yourself beyond a comfortable level and keep each exercise session within 90 minutes. If at any point you feel pain, dizziness or nausea, stop immediately.
Right, let's start with a little warm-up. We're going to take it easy. All we're going to do is stand nice and tall, put our hands on our hips to make sure they don't move side to side. We're going to lift on our toes, a little march. Very low intensity to start with. Lifting on your toes and back down, making sure your hips don't move. Controlled movement. If you do want to make it a little bit more intense, you can add your arms. Swing your arms, opposite arm, opposite leg. Keep the movement controlled. We don't want any swinging of your legs or hips. And a little bit more intensity would be lifting your knees up. Opposite arm, opposite leg.
So this exercise is going to start to get the body moving and warmed up and mobilised, ready for the exercise to come later in the workout. It's also a great exercise for pelvic stability because the girls are keeping their pelvis really level, and this is really important because during pregnancy your body is producing a hormone called relaxin, which exerts its influence on the connective tissue of the body and makes the joints a little bit more lax than they would be when you're not pregnant. Creating strength and stability around the joints is important to reduce the risk of things like pelvic girdle pain later on in the pregnancy.
Okay, well done. I hope you all feel warmed up. We're going to go to our first exercise, which is the squats. Everybody's ready? Okay, so I would like you to stand nice and tall, feet about shoulder width apart, a little bit wider. If you are in your last trimester, try to keep the stance quite narrow. We're going to keep arms nice and loose, and we're going to lower our bodies down by moving hips back and bending the knees. So we're going to go down, hold for a second or two, and lift back up. Nice and tall. Draw your belly button in, push your hips back, squeeze your glutes, and lower yourself down. Let's go all together. Go slowly down, hold for 1, 2, and lift up. Go down, 2, and up.
The squat is probably the most functional exercise you can do when you're pregnant. Not only is it strengthening all the muscles you need to strengthen, such as your core, your glutes and your lower body, it's also teaching you correct technique for possibly a position when you're in labour, but also when you're lifting your newborn repeatedly. So it's important to know that you can lift with your legs, not with your back. As a new mum, your core might be weaker than it was before you got pregnant, so correct lifting technique is important to protect your back from injury and lower back pain.
Try to keep your spine in neutral position, and once again make sure if you're in third trimester you keep your squats shallow and narrow. Don't go past 90 degrees. If you would like to make this exercise a little bit more intense, just hold down in the position for a little bit longer. Let's do last 2 repetitions. One more. and relax. Shake your legs off. And let's move on to our second exercise, which will be dumbbell bent over reverse fly. So for this, we're going to do some dumbbells. If you haven't got dumbbells at home, use tins, cans, water bottles, anything that's a little bit heavier, maybe 1 kilo, 1.5. So anything similar. Ladies, if you'd like to grab your dumbbells. Now, this exercise is a standing tall exercise, but if you are in your last stage of pregnancy, third trimester, please use the Swiss ball. We're going to be doing it seated position, bend over fly. So grab your dumbbells. Let's stand nice and tall, shoulders back. Draw your belly button in again. Shoulder width apart position. And we're going to lean forward, just like we did with the squat, but not bending the knees so far. We're going to look about 45 degrees forward. Keep neutral spine position. Bend elbows, and we're going to bring arms up and back down. Bring arms up and down. Make sure you draw your belly button in. Keep back nice and straight. Avoid extending your back, bending it too much in the lower part. If you are sitting on a Swiss ball, keep the weights on the outside of your knees, but still stay neutral spine. If you would like to make this exercise a little bit easier, you can bend your elbows a little bit more so you can choose your intensity. Okay, we're going to go into our last 2 repetitions. And one more. Relax, straight back, stand tall, and pop your dumbbells down on the floor. So we can move on to our other exercise, which is called the kneeling spine twist. So you can put your Swiss balls away. We're going to use the mats now. We're going to kneel down. Now, if your knees are sore, you haven't got a mat or anything, please use towels, pillows, blankets, anything you have for underneath your knees to make it a little bit more comfortable. If I can ask you guys to get down on your knees, please. You're going to go nice and tall. Imagine there's a magnet pulling you up towards the ceiling, really tall head, arms across your chest. And all we're going to do is twist side to side, but we'll try to keep our hips completely steady. So arms across your chest, and let's twist. Side, forward, and other side. It should be a really slow, controlled movement. Squeeze your glutes as hard as you can. Push your hips forward. Draw your belly button in. Again, imagine you hugging your babies from all sides, top, bottom, front and back.
So the kneeling position is a really good position to exercise in when you're pregnant because it makes you activate your glutes, and these are muscles that can become lengthened during pregnancy, and it also lengthens the hip flexors, which can become tight during pregnancy, and the movement itself is helping to mobilize the spine.
Great work. Let's do 3 more repetitions. Last 2 and 1 more. And we're going to stay down on the mat for our next exercise. Now, if you are thirsty, please feel free to drink at any point. It's important to stay hydrated, so have a drink, have a water, a little break, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to show you the next exercise. We're going to stay on the mat on all 4. This exercise is called a Superman, and we're going to have few versions depending on what trimester you're in and how you feel. But everybody will be on their knees and hands. So I'm going to ask you all to squeeze your bum as hard as you can. Think about your pelvic floor. Engage your core, so draw your belly button in. And for the first easiest version, especially for the 3rd trimester, we're going to do an exercise that's called cat pedals, a version of Superman. We're going to lift arm off the floor and relax. arm off the floor, and relax.
This one is a great pregnancy exercise. It's working the whole body. We're getting a good core workout without straining the abdominals. We're upper body bone loading, so we're strengthening the upper body through the back and the shoulders, and it's also great for pelvic stability. It may also be the position you end up giving birth in, so it's great preparing you for that.
Keep your back completely straight. We don't want to extend your back, bend the lower back. Needs to stay as straight as possible. Now we're going to add lifting opposite knee together with your arm. So it will be arm and leg. Draw your belly button in and keep your hips as steady as possible, as well as your shoulders. Well done. Let's do the hardest version. If you are in the 3rd trimester, or if you do suffer with pelvic girdle pain, you might need to try to avoid this version, but otherwise we're going to extend arm and leg in straight position. Do not go too far up with your foot because you're going to hyperextend your back, so keep it nice and straight and lower down. Straight and back down. Okay, for our next exercise we're going to stay on the mats, but you will need a couple of towels, please. For those who do suffer with pelvic girdle pain, you might need to leave this one out, but instead you can get yourself into the same position we're going to be lying on, and you can practice your pelvic floor. Great opportunity to take a little break, but still do some work. So if I can ask you all to grab a couple of towels, we're going to need one for your tummy to prop that up, and one in between your knees, so we don't bring the pelvic girdle pain on. We're going to lie down on the side, support our heads with our arms, bend knees so you can see your feet in line with your hips and shoulders, all in one single line. Push your hips forward, and we're going to lift knee up towards the ceiling by squeezing the glutes and lowering back down. Lift up and lower back down. Keep your spine in neutral position again. Draw your belly button in and make sure your top hip doesn't move back and forth. Imagine you're trying to balance a marble on top of your hip, so you don't want it to roll off.
So the Clam exercise is specifically focusing on a muscle called the gluteus medius, which is really important for pelvic stability and helps prevent problems with instability in the pelvis during your pregnancy. The towel in between the legs is helping again to protect the pelvis, to keep everything in line.
For your home workout, please don't forget to turn around and use your other leg as well, please. Fantastic, we've got 3 repetitions left before we go on to another exercise. 1 more. And relax. Excellent. Now for our next exercise, we're going to do glute bridges. For this, we definitely need some pillows, blankets or towels to prop our bodies up. So I would like everybody to have something underneath their back. Make sure you propped up. Anything you do on your back at home, make sure you have something to prop yourself up a little bit higher. If you are in 3rd trimester, or if it's uncomfortable for you already to lie on your back, 20 weeks or more, you might want to use the Swiss ball for this exercise. So you're going to see a couple of our participants using a Swiss ball, so you can copy that. If you haven't got a Swiss ball at home, please use a chair, same effect. If you're using a Swiss ball, you can just sit on a Swiss ball and walk your way down. So your upper body, your back and your head are resting on the Swiss ball, hips down. And we're going to start by bending the knees, squeezing our glutes as hard as we can, and pushing the hips up towards the ceiling and slowly down above the ground. And down. Keep on going by squeezing your glutes. If you are working the glute bridges on the Swiss ball, if you can please make sure you lift your head up and your back. Imagine your body is a plank. What you don't want to do is hyperextend your back. So really make sure your back is completely straight. So you can see Lucinda's pushing her hips up and then lowering down together with her head, all in one line. Fantastic. If you can do 2 more repetitions for me. Last one. That's brilliant. And relax, walk your way back on the Swiss ball to seated position. And let's get ready for the next exercise, which is leg slide or a bug exercise. Once again, if you do feel uncomfortable lying on the floor or you are in the last stages of your pregnancy, it will be best to use the Swiss ball. So you're going to see Allegra. She will show you how to do Swiss ball exercise equivalent to the bugs. Okay, if everybody lies down on their backs, everybody propped up, we're going to start super simple by sliding leg on the floor, down and back up, swapping legs, down and up. Very important to focus on your core. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Imagine there's a string, you're pulling it all in. Engage your pelvic floor. Keep your hips steady and go nice and slow. If you want to make this more intense, you can add arms out and in. This doesn't require too much coordination, so it's easy to do. If you do want to make it even more intense, we're going to lift leg and opposite arm. Leg goes up and everything down. One at a time. On the Swiss ball, all you need to do is focus on your pelvic floor and lift your feet just a couple of inches off the floor.
So this exercise is a great way to work the core without straining the abdominals. If we put too much strain on the abdominals during pregnancy, it can lead to separation of the abdominals, which can weaken the core postnatally.
That's a great job. This is our last exercise, so let's enjoy our last 2 repetitions. 2 more. Let's do our last one. And relax. Now the nice bit comes, which is our cool down. And for cool down, all we're going to do is lie down on our sides and relax. Or you can grab your Swiss balls, roll them forward, and push down and relax. This is all about breathing and time for yourself. So if you can breathe in, count to 5 and breathe out. Count to 5 again. Deep breathing right through your stomach.
Relaxation is just as important as exercise during pregnancy, so that you manage stress, and just taking time out to do some breathing techniques or relaxation activities can help prepare you for birth and also the demands of motherhood.
Take your time to do this relaxation. It's all about you now. Take your time, however long you need. And when you're done, slowly come up. Don't forget to roll on your side and come up that way. Thank you very much for joining us in this workout. If you would like any more information, you can find it on nuffieldhealth.com.